In this lesson, we're going to see how to add a scroll pane to a list to make the list scrollable. And that will save some room when we want to have a long list of items. The first thing I want to do is start a new program by copying our old program to spanes.java. So then once we've done that, we're ready to open spanes.java. So the first thing we want to do is add our scroll pane to our program. So we're going to call it spane. So the first thing we do is have a declaration. After that, we're ready to instantiate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to instantiate it down here underneath our list. So we're going to say spane equals new j scroll pane, and then the argument to the constructor is the name of the list, in this case, list. So that instantiates the scroll pane. The next thing we need to do is set the size. There's a method called setPreferredSize. To do that, we call a constructor dimension with the dimensions we want for our scroll pane, and we'll just pick 120/90. After we've done that, we're ready to add the scroll pane to our frame. Now, because the list is now in the scroll pane, we don't have to add the list anymore. So we're going to comment that out, and we'll replace that line with the line frame add spane to get our scroll pane in place. And that's actually our list. So you can think of it as adding the list to the frame. Even though we say we're adding the scroll pane to the frame, we're actually adding the list because the list now includes the scroll pane. That's a little confusing. Now the other thing we need to do is we need to come up here and change all of our names from list to spane. So we do it here. We do it in the definition of the constructor. This is always the problem with cutting and pasting. And then where we actually execute the constructor, we've got to change it there also. Make sure we got all those. And we called it plural, so let's make sure we get that right. There we go. And to recap, we declare our scroll pane. We instantiate the scroll pane, which is this line right here. We set its size, which is the line below it. We add it, the scroll pane, to the frame, which includes the list, and then we should be ready to go. So let's save the file. Come back to our command prompt window. Compile. Run it. Let me bring it into view. See how we can scroll it up and down. We can pick. Let's scroll down and pick. Let's scroll back up and pick. We can scroll across and we can scroll up and down. So that's our scroll pane. So that's how you add a scroll pane to a list and add it to your Swing application. And with that, we're ready to move on to the exercise for this chapter where we're going to put all these different widgets into one application. And we're also going to look at a new layout for these widgets called grid layout.